Hey everybody, clearing. I was so tired yesterday, I didn't sing the clearing, so that's an extra special singy-songy one for today. Okay, so today on the pre-shuffle, I was getting to ask, what is the belief or the perception that each of the twins are working on that they know is going to bring them closer to their counterpart, aka union energies. Sorry, OCD, I'm gonna center. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the divine feminines are being OCD? No. Let's do this though. So thank you, divine creator. What can we see for the divine masculines? What is the mindset, belief? What are the divine masculines shifting consciously in preparation to be more harmonious regarding their connection with their counterpart? Wow, so many things came out. What landed on the floor? Oh, union. So isn't that lovely? And then we get dueling swords and the emperor. So these two aspects of self I'm hearing, like the at war with their own do I or don't I, the indecision. I'm really getting that this is representing the masculine's armored self and the wear the heart on the sleeve, head and heart possibly here, and putting down the control issues, becoming more unity conscious, not so polarized within. It's like the second guessing or over analysis paralysis is being harmonized. Okay, so for divine masculines watching, what can we get for advice on that? Because we did see it in, what was it, a couple days ago, that the eclipse energies are going to be helping the divine masculines let go of judging themselves for following their intuition and not having a conscious reason for that. So this is the same kind of thing, being able to calm the mind and drop into the heart, divine masculines. They know that that is something that stands between them and their divine feminine. So what can we see for you, divine masculines? What is the support? Oh, that wanted to come out. Bliss, aspiration, and realization. So focus on the highest. If you are at odds with yourself, if you are second guessing, what was your first gut instinct or intuition? What was there before you second guessed? That's important. But also, when in doubt, what is the highest? What is the most aspiring, positive way to look at things? Instead of what could go wrong, divine masculines, consider that you're being asked to drop the fear of what could go wrong and actually start going towards what you think could go right here. The union, the connectedness. So isn't that beautiful? Divine masculines, nice. Well, let's see what the divine feminines, I'll put that back in. Okay, what shall the divine feminines look at as a belief structure? We're getting just the sun. I've gone through the deck once and it came out on the side. So here are twins. Here is the enlightenment. The sun represents positive reassurance, enlightenment. It came out on the side. So I just really heard divine feminines not needing to know, not needing to be hyper vigilant, not needing to understand how things are going to play out, not needing to know where your divine masculine is at, what your divine masculine is doing, all the details, just trusting that you wouldn't be on this journey. You would not be aligned with it. You would not be considering these things if you weren't cut from that cloth. So divine feminines, you're being asked to just let energy self affirm The basic one is you wouldn't really be drawn to the twin flame concept if you weren't of that type of energy. So whether you have your divine masculine right or not, you know, whether you are thinking you need to come into union right away or not, just validate yourself that you are of this energy, that you believe in true love, and give yourself permission to go through that process, go through the journey. That in and of itself qualifies you. Okay, what can we see for the message? Stabilization, reprogramming, transmutation, and stabilization. Yes, you don't need to, you know, keep a track on what's happening, the play-by-play. Keep your stable energy. Just know what you've been shown for the big picture and let the details work themselves out. Be stable, be balanced. Don't seek out things that will rock that balance. Don't try and uncover things and sleuth things out. If your counterpart is not coming forward right now, or if somebody isn't showing up just fully, willfully in your life, you don't need to know what's going on. Either it's none of your business, or it might be counterintuitive to union energies. If that's the case, it's not time. Your counterpart isn't ready. Don't harm yourself by concerning yourself with those details. Just go about your merry way and stay balanced. Transmutation. So transmute any of the lower vibrational things so they don't enter into your reality, so that you stay even keel and you are receptive to things that are showing up that are your preference. Wow. Okay. Divine feminine. So easygoing energy there. All right. I was considering doing a divine feminine check-in today. So I think that's what we are going to do. And I'm going to pull clarifiers on how is it being mirrored in the divine masculine journey. So here we go. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest and most beneficial information coming through for the divine feminines. What are the divine feminines thinking about the connection at this time? What are the divine feminines feeling on the heart space for their masculines? What are the divine feminines wishing for the connections? What are the actions that the feminines are taking at this time? What is challenging the divine feminines the most at this time? Oh, I have to shuffle one more time. And what is the spirit guided solution for that challenge? Where are the energies going in the near future? So I just also want to say I do have a few spots left for the crystal dig. It's gonna be so epic. I don't know if camping in the desert sounds good to anybody out there with a bunch of divine feminines, but it's pretty amazing energy so far from what I can feel, and there are a few spots. So if you'd like information on that, it does come with a dig fee, which is a good investment, because you can come out of it with some beautiful crystals, and they're scepters. So that is a very phallic symbol and kind of relevant on the twin flame journey. Intimate. Okay, so divine masculines, what can we see for your mirrored energies with what we're going to get for the divine feminines? All right, here we go. Divine feminines, what are you thinking about the journey? Okay, 10 of Cups in the reverse with the Seeker of Chalices. This is a surrender. Look at the heart chakra opening there. 10 of Cups in the reverse is, I'm getting going back to the drawing board. What you knew in an old energy would make you happy doesn't seem to be where you're at now. It's like then you didn't know what you didn't know. You're growing, you're learning, and can you imagine if you had manifested union energies or the things that you thought? Go back 5 years ago, divine feminines, and think about what you would have desired then. look how far you've come. Look at how much more vast, how much more mature, how much more aware you've become. Your idea of what is fulfilling, what matters, is growing, it's evolving. So divine feminines are surrendering to allowing the ever-present changing of what makes divine feminines happy and just going with the flow of that. Amazing. What is this doing for the divine masculines? Oh, look at that. 10 of Cups. In the upright, though, it's causing the divine masculines to desire happiness with the feminine. There is a couple with a baby here, so for some masculines, it's causing them to see you as somebody that would be a really good counterpart in a family situation, possibly even with children involved. So as you become easygoing, the divine masculines are seeing that that is such a beautiful, nurturing, safe home energy. Very wholesome, I'm getting here. Let's see what we can get in the union space. 10 of Cups, 10 of Cups, amazing. So if children don't apply in your dynamic, this is just that wholesome, nourishing belonging, the sense of true belonging for the long term. And we're getting emotional equilibrium, compassionate non-attachment. Exactly. So you're not glued to the idea, fixed on a certain outcome anymore, divine feminines. You're just surrendering to what is, and that is causing your divine masculine to see you as a very, very wise and beautiful choice, because their freedom isn't going to be lost. So whether this is 3D knowledge or energetically, it is on the heart space with all those cups. It's like 20 cups, 21 cups of love. I'm hearing 21 cups of love on the wall, 21 cups of love. But emotional equilibrium, compassionate non-attachment. So everybody's just sort of in this bubble of good feeling is what I'm getting, that's not really making anyone feel unbalanced. That's really nice. So divine, everybody's up in their emotions though, on the conscious mind. It's very, very, very idyllic feeling. On the heart space, ooh, on the heart space it's a bit more crunchy. So 5 of Swords and 4 of Swords. 5 of Swords in the reverse is the card of free will. 4 of Swords is a card of healing after third-party situations. So divine feminine, it's like you're forgiving, you're releasing, you're letting bygones be bygones because you don't want to feel the pain. You're looking at things in different ways. Your heart is expanding to not make your divine masculine the bad guy, to demonize them, to do whatever, to not, be victim of circumstance regarding the choices that your divine masculine has made to align with something other than this connection. So on the heart space, you're deciding you want to release your divine masculine from being responsible for your happiness. So for a few, this 10 of Cups in the reverse is a little bit of a grudge that you are surrendering divine feminines because your divine masculine hasn't done things the way you wanted them to. And so this is you detaching, letting go of the preference, of the expectation that they needed to show up in a certain way, and really making peace with it because your happiness is within your control. When you let go of the person, instead of demanding that they make you happy, just letting them go because they are not compatible, and your happiness, your emotional equilibrium matters most. You are in charge of that for yourself, and that does not mean you have to make your divine counterpart the bad person. That just means that you're taking responsibility for your own balance and not putting yourself in harm's way. How is this affecting the divine masculines and mirroring the devil in the reverse? So all of a sudden they see their karma for what it is. When you let go, they get the clear message that whatever they're doing isn't compatible with you. and they have to sort through the illusion of it. Yes, they can feel rejected or like you're being unreasonable in some regard, divine feminine, but divine masculines end up seeing through the illusions. When you take a step back, when you let them go energetically or in the 3D, they are left with their own accountability, and they can't keep up the facade. They have to face what they are dealing with, and it supports them then, because they can't blame you for causing anything in their scenario. They have to stand on their own 2 feet. So they end up seeing through the karma, and only when you step back in the ways that you do energetically does it have that effect, because not everybody is central to your divine counterpart the way you are. So not just anybody could affect your counterpart that way. You, when you are guided, is the perfect way to do that, that opens and unlocks those doors, those codes. What can we see on the heart space for the twins? Harmonic oscillator, timing, rhythm, synchronization, and frequency. So we're seeing how the twin dynamic calibrates the counterparts. When one does something, what you do for self, you do for twins. So divine feminines, you have withdrawn through your free will into a time of integration and letting go, and this is causing your divine masculine to be able to see through illusion in some regard, because your energy isn't there creating a diversion, a distraction, a battery pack, whatever it may be. What is the divine feminine wish for the connection at this time? Oh, 4 of Wands and separation. Obviously that means wishing to come into union and out of separation. And how is that affecting the divine masculines? They are channeling. This is the well. This is the card after the ascension energy. This is going with the flow, being an artist, bringing through that presence and divine guidance. So when you've gotten out of the way, and now you're just wishing for unity, you're not wishing to have any of those things that are not unity conscious involved. You're no longer harboring, you're no longer in unforgiveness of your masculine's humanity or process or journey. Now your divine masculine is going with the flow, learning how to work with the emotional element. The well is all about the emotions. Water is the emotion. And so as your divine masculine learns to flow with emotion and intuitive guidance and, love versus fear, and this elegant dance, this is bringing your divine counterpart into union consciousness, because they are mastering their emotions and are being directed by utilizing emotions. So this is empathic maturation, it's spiritual maturation. Divine masculines are getting opportunities in their 3D to see how their emotions are dancing now, without being clouded by your opinion, is what I'm clearly getting here, divine feminines, because you're not wishing for the separation anymore. That was an interesting way that came out. You're not wishing for the separation anymore. Your divine masculine is like at the wishing well, wishing for flow. I want to find out why that came through like that. Why the divine feminines might have been wishing for separation. Because there was a wedge, because there was a harboring of resentment, resistance, unforgiveness, because the intuition wasn't dropping into the unconditional love. It was hypervigilant and not trusting. It was not unconditional. This is the unconditional queen in the reverse. You weren't being unconditional. You were trying to force your divine masculine to conform to your wishes instead of just getting that energetic understanding of when somebody doesn't do what we want, we just release them because it's their motion. Interesting, divine feminine. So you're getting this idea, this concept now. You do you, they do them, and if it gels, that's when it's union ready. That's when we have this shared frequency. Okay, what is the union space for the counterparts regarding the well and Four of Wands? Light body expansion and illuminated presence. So when you are truly in unconditional love, your Merkaba glows, you light up, you're in alignment. When you're in alignment, this light body expands and you emanate compassion and unconditional love into the world. When you do that, everyone else is given permission to do that as well. So if you're a divine masculine or a divine feminine, doesn't matter what you do for self, you do for all others, and you do for twin. But it is about coming into this light expression. So everything is lightening, everything is ascending. I'm seeing the DNA, and when we become crystalline, when we clear the junk, the karmic stuff, the lower vibrational things, it's like mud being washed away from our DNA, and the light that we are naturally can shine through because there aren't those misconceptions. I saw 2112 when I looked at the clock. Okay, what actions are the feminines taking? Yeah, coming out of separation. Here's the Five of Pentacles again. We just saw divine feminines, you're wishing to come out of separation and into unity consciousness. And so your actions are, you are coming out of separation by empowering yourself energetically, sexually, sensually. You're no longer in waiting. You're no longer in resistance. You're receptive. You're receptive to passion again, divine feminine. So whether that's with your divine masculine, whether that's with a soulmate, another counterpart, you're not in waiting energy anymore. Seize the day, I just heard. How is that affecting your divine counterpart? Seven of Wands, your divine counterpart is a little defensive about that. So this is where some counterpart accountability is coming in. Now that they are seeing you as autonomous and you have released them to be autonomous, now they've got their own motion to stand up against the things that they need to for their rite of passage in their own right that qualifies them to be a divine counterpart coming into union. So this is some of the energies about you being more sensual, more sexual, not waiting, is possibly triggering some divine masculines to be a bit defensive and not like that too much, but it's lighting the fire under their butt. Some of them, this is an intuitive motion that's causing them to set more healthy boundaries and take care of things they've been procrastinating just because the energy is speeding up or feeling more high frequency, so that they have a renewed passion to dot the T or dot the I's and cross the T's with things that they haven't necessarily been doing their due diligence with. So it's a few different motions for your divine counterpart. Let's see what the union space has to say about that. Multiplication and growth, chamber of regeneration, creation. So this is creating new timelines where collaboration and growth and exponential energies can come in. So growth is happening everywhere. Divine feminines, you're growing into whatever shows up for you and navigating that. Divine masculines, you are pruning the outlets for your energy. You're saying no to certain things that you didn't used to say no to, and you're bravely going forward towards uncharted territory. So there's directional growth for both counterparts. I am sensing that the divine masculines are starting to want to fight for this connection, and divine feminines, you're okay more and more so not just being in stagnation regarding your divine masculine. So it's all kind of working together here. And there is growth happening behind the scenes, whether it looks like it's 3D or union or not. There is a lot of growth in the 5D I'm feeling here. What is the biggest challenge for the divine feminines? This is coming back to that first message of not needing to know things, the sun on its side, like just trusting that everything is supposed to be this way at this stage of the journey, not worrying too much about anything other than taking each thought captive and having a good feeling thought, looking for the highest interpretation of everything that you're experiencing in your own right. Never mind your divine counterpart right now. This is the Temperance card. This is showing that you might be a little bit out of balance and you need to rein it back in to the essential. Just love versus fear. What is the thing that you need to be thinking about right now? That one truth that sets you free. No more juggling, waffling back and forth. What is the thought that will create a balance in you? What is the peaceable thought, divine feminine? That's your challenge right now. What is the solution? Magician in the reverse and the Two of Crystals. So another juggling card. Basically, don't try and force anything, divine feminines, but choose the balanced thought. Choose the thought that brings the balance in. If you're out of balance, choose choose the thought that brings that in. What does that do to the masculines? Queen of Cups. It makes them have unconditional love and this beautiful overflowing of acceptance and appreciation and love for you and this connection, divine feminines. We saw that you were the Queen of Cups in the reverse a little bit earlier in the reading, and now we see that when you bring your thoughts into balance, when you balance that out and you are responsible for your own happiness and make the real world changes, that actually makes your divine masculine see you as this divine energy of love embodied. What is they just feel it on the heart space, I heard. What is the Starseed Oracle card for the challenge and solution? Divinity, honor, responsibility, and humility. So this is you really coming into your divinity, your honor. This is your honor is at stake, divine feminine, on a spiritual level. This is your responsibility, your humility to do this work within you as an energetic master. Coming in, come down off your high horse, come into your own balance, stop making your divine masculine responsible for your happiness and master this. Your divine masculine's eyes are all on you, watching this, feeling this happening energetically and seeing how profound that process of mastery is for you. Where is this connection going in the near future? Wow, we started with the Page of Cups for you, divine feminine, and now we have the Knight. This is also deep integration of the love. It's this personal motion. You're surrendering and you're feeling the love. So I'm getting, divine feminines, this is causing you to feel the love from all directions. It's causing you to be receptive in general, being receptive to love. It doesn't have to come from your divine masculine. There's lots and lots of messages here where you're opening up, you're not waiting, you're not making your divine masculine wrong, you're not holding on to grudges and unforgiveness. You're living your life again. So, still, it's an evolutionary process. What is this doing for the masculine? They're not having to force anything in any direction. There's just this flow. So you got the Magician, also divine feminines in the reverse, not wanting to force anything, but just surrendering to balance. It also allows for the tables to be leveled between you and your masculine. Your divine masculine no longer wants to manifest things in the opposite direction or run. There's a staying power that can happen here now. What can we see for the union space? Orion Stargate, power, authority, influence, and ambition. This is where we can all be of earthly good because we're getting out of our own way, I just heard. And seal of individuality, authenticity, uniqueness, and integration. We just got that card, Divine Feminines. This is the integration. You know, when you stop trying to make somebody else prove they love you, you no longer are trying to be validated for your own uniqueness. Oftentimes when we don't feel worthy, we think we're somehow the odd one out, the weird one, the one that's unlovable. This is saying you are a unique seal of individuality. You've got the stamp of uniqueness now, Divine Feminine, and you're not afraid to show the world your special brand of uniqueness with ambition, influence, power, and authority. And Divine Masculines, this is freeing you up to be uniquely who you are and not be afraid of being judged and lose your freedom with your Divine Feminine. There's no longer any need to kind of run away because there's nothing to lose anymore in these connections. When the Divine Feminines are no longer saying you should do things one way or the other, you're free to just be yourself in your unique way. So everybody is becoming more accountable with just allowing the other one to be who they are. There's a lot of responsibility on the Divine Feminines in this reading, but this is a Divine Feminine reading, and I'm all for not necessarily tough love, but I am getting that little bit of a boot camp energy here. Divine Feminines, I love you so much, and we are very, very strong, balanced bunch, aren't we? So keep loving, keep being fiercely, unapologetically you, Divine Feminines, and allow for your Divine Masculine to do the same. Many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.